Alright, welcome to the channel. On this channel I create games, create game assets, and I share game assets with people, and I create tutorials to help others develop games and make games for game jams. Let me go over the main thing I like to talk about, or want to make sure everybody hears about, is the free game jam template. If you check the channel description for the blue link, you can download this. And if you check the video under the game jam template tutorials or the game jam template playlist, you can see under each video there's a link to download this asset as well. So what does this asset do? If you've ever wanted to participate in a game jam or create your own asset or game or whatever to show off to people or release or sell, feel free to start here. This asset is completely free. It's meant to help others jump into game dev and start making games. So let me go over what you see. We have our player controller. He looks pretty cool. He's got his clothes on. If we want to turn off the clothes, we just go under our player over here and we turn off the clothes right here. Just turn off the check, and we get this old school bean, the collider that is checking for all of the physics in the world. And then we got our sign back here. So what's the sign? It's a little asset made just to display what we feel like. We got other signs like pick up and throw objects. Look at an object, press R to throw. These objects have their own little script on them that lets them be thrown and picked up, but basically you just have to make sure you set this up properly to pick it up and throw it. And it has its own reference to how far it should be thrown. And we got a door here to transition between levels. It's already set up. And this one, we've only got one level right now, but it's already been tested before to jump between levels. And with the door, you just select it and make sure the name of the scene is right here. And that's how you can collide with this to transition levels. And while I start the playtest, let me talk a little bit more about this. This template is set up for WebGL already, meaning you can go ahead and launch the Game Jam template, start designing it, and then go ahead and build to WebGL. As you can see, we can pick up this. It's got a light throw, medium to far, and then a get away from me, I don't want to see you no more throw. These objects have a script that lets them reset based on height. So once they hit a certain height, they'll reset. We have the door here, like I said, you go through it and you open up the new level. In this case, we open the level we're in. We've got a little bug here that I still got to fix, that you can walk up a vertical wall, or not a vertical wall, but a wall that's very, very vertical in its angle. We've got objects around the map that you can push and knock off. Those will also reset. You can see it'll reset over there. They'll start coming back. We got more of those objects right here. We got double jumping. We got crouch, but the crouch has this weird camera pop. I'm still working on fixing that. We got a moving platform. Here with the moving platform, we got this jitter. I got to fix that, but it's still working. It moves. It does its job. We got physics assets over here to set up physics and be able to push things around. We got bounce pads, which are fun. We got air controls, so we can air control over and then hit our bounce pad and air control back, hit our other bounce pad. We got cool little sticker setups here, so you can easily modify those to have stickers in the world. We've got objects or moving platforms that are based on points that are invisible. They're empty objects that you can't see, but basically the platform references where each point is and moves between them. I'm still working on getting the player to rotate with the moving platform when the platform's rotating. We've got teleporters here. All you do is step on it and it goes to it teleports you to a reference object that's over there, but it's an empty one, so you won't see it. And then if you hit this teleporter, it'll do the same thing and teleport you back. So yeah, that's the Game Jam template. You got all these assets ready to go in the file, and you basically just set up the project and start making a game. And I'll show you a little bit more about how deep this asset can go when it comes to making different games. It's not just first person. So if I Alt Tab to bring my cursor out, and then I show my scene items in my hierarchy here, I'm just going to go ahead and open up my main asset player, and I'm going to scroll down so you can see the player controller script. At the top we have our movement, air control, crouch, additional settings for turning on or setting the death height for the player to reset at a certain height, mouse lock, so if you want your mouse to lock into the screen. But the one we're looking for changing up is below camera settings and below. So if we go to our camera settings and we change this from 0.01 and we push it out, we now move into third person, and we can easily just start moving around in our world. And if we alt tab back out to change some more settings, we can change the height of it. We can also change the pitch right here for the max pitch of like how far we can go over. So we don't like flip all the way over the character, go under the character. We don't want to invert our character. And then we also have our camera shift to be able to do like a over the shoulder look. So we can do something like this where we can do an over the shoulder and easily be able to create a look like that within the world. We can set this back to 0 to get a standard third person and change our camera distance over here again to be further back if we wanted to do a far back third person. And we could also lock the yaw here. So now it's kind of like a Diablo style far back. And if we wanted to really make it locked in, we could lock the pitch and get a certain angle that we're looking for down here under pitch. So we could do like 45 to get a certain angle. And if we change this to 90, we can go to top down, but we have to make sure our max pitch and our pitch angle will let us go up to 90. And then we can do top down as well. And yeah, that's this asset can do a lot of different style games. And if you change these settings and learn what settings to manipulate, you can set up different versions of different games. And also, one other thing that's cool is you can actually lock the player's Z right here. So if you put the player in a certain spot and you want to build a platformer level, you can lock the Z and you can adjust the angles to be offset if you wanted to move from the front, or if you wanted to change the, let me alt tab out again. I don't know what I was doing. We wanted to create like an infinite runner where we could run forward, but we could only like go back and forward, or we wanted to do something like that. We could do it by changing this rotation, or we can just do side scroller or infinite jumpers or things like that. So yeah, this controller does a lot of things. You just have to be willing to experiment with the actual player controller settings. So again, you can do a lot. Also, I forgot there's a sprint option. So if you hold shift, just know in Unity there's a bug with shift, so you might have to change the settings in the input manager to have a different button for what does the sprint. Now, other than that, that's the Game Jam template, and I hope you like it. Hopefully you'll use it, and feel free to, because I want people to be able to make games and participate in game jams easily. And if they think that they can't get into game jams or game development, this asset's a good start moving into that, and it's completely free. I'm not going to ask you to do anything for it. I just hope to help others make games. Also, one other thing I'll go into, one last thing I want to make sure I cover here. It's set up for WebGL already in the project. So all you have to do once you build something is go to File, Build Settings, and build out your game. Make sure your scenes are here if you want them to be able to transition with doors. But then you go build and you build it to a folder, and you can put it right onto itch.io or wherever you're participating in a game jam. The other cool thing is this is a full project folder that I'm giving you, and it comes with the version I'm using right now is 2022.3.33F1. You can see that up here. I don't know if you can see my mouse very well, but you can see it at the top up here. So make sure you have that version of Unity with WebGL and whatever other platform you might want to target installed. And yeah, that's how you start using the Game Jam template. Hope you have fun making games with it. Check back often, as I'll be fixing bugs and adding more structure to it and adding more abilities to the player controller and more assets to use. I already have other stuff I've gotten built on a different controller that I will probably put on here, which is like PSX effects on the camera so that you can create like old school looking games and things like that. Also do like sky stuff and audio stuff. So yeah, I'll just be adding a bunch of stuff in here, just trying to create a really cool Game Jam asset for Unity for people to be able to create new Game Jam games and start learning game dev. And yeah, that's where it's at. Hope you enjoy it. Check back often, and feel free to look at my games that I'm working on. I'm not sure when I'm going to start uploading those videos, but yeah, check those out as well. All right, later.